Hey gang, today we're gonna be reacting to videos. What that means is, I'll stay off to the side while people with passion and talent for their craft do all the work, and I get all the money! YouTube enabled this behavior, ensuring I will never face any negative consequences for my actions. Let's go! Bro is painting the Mona Lisa on MS Paint? What? Okay, I have nothing else to say. I'm sure that's enough transformative content. Next video! Oh yeah, he's doing the Mona Lisa. Yeah, I've heard of those. I make people want to create less content.
Chat, I'm just going to use the bathroom real quick. But it's okay if I go because it's okay because I'm gonna post this VOD to YouTube anyway, and I'll get all the views and the money, and the original creator gets nothing. I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Hold on, I gotta read this statement first. The characters and situations depicted in these skits are fictional composites inspired by various individual and online trends. They are intended for humorous commentary. However, resemblance to actual individuals, living or cancelled, are not coincidental, and freebooting and content theft will always be wrong. Credit creators, ask for permission, make original content, don't be a scumbag. We can start the video now. This video is about freebooting and content theft, what it is, why people do it, and the truly horrid and unscrupulous ways that people seek to benefit from others' creative work. This is across different eras of internet culture and across several different online platforms. And I think most interestingly, I want to talk about how content theft has shaped how you consume and think about online content. I feel like freebooting has seeped its way into every facet of internet culture. In fact, I'm gonna go and make this absolutely buck-wild claim that you like the creators you like indirectly because of freebooting. And I have no idea if that's gonna hold up even after you watch this video, but if you watch until the end and disagree with me, leave a comment as to why, so that I can drive that engagement. Whee! So I was in middle school when YouTube began, and
I'm old! I beg your pardon? Oh, I'm like the Crypt Keeper!
And whenever I get nostalgic for those really early days of YouTube, I think back to the YouTube Awards, recognizing the best videos of 2007. This wasn't super ceremonial like the streamies nowadays. There was no glitzy red carpet event with influencers. It was just this one little web page that I vaguely remember, but now I can't even find on archive websites. So the only remnant that I know that this once existed was this sloppily curated playlists of nominees and winners on this now defunct channel created by YouTube. And a lot of the nominees and winners for all these categories honestly were these interesting, effortful, and super influential original videos, emphasis on original videos, that showed just how wild and crazy and insightful and talented the people on early YouTube were. Some of these videos weren't the most polished, but it was real, goddammit. It was passionate, it was original. I watched all the nominees and winners back in the day, and the one that really stood out to me was this video by Eclectic Asylum Art. Remember that name. The video is called How to Paint the Mona Lisa with MS Paint. Now, obviously, this would be super impressive in any era, but in 2007, this blew my tiny 13-year-old brain. Like, I never thought that you could do that, considering I spent my childhood drawing stick figures in MS Paint. I didn't think that people could be this talented. This video indirectly inspired me to pursue digital art, and I even remember thinking that based on talent alone, Eclectic Asylum Art deserved to be the most famous creator of all time. Except, this isn't by Eclectic Asylum Art. I mean, at least not this video you're watching right now. See, he really did do the Mona Lisa in MS Paint, but this video you're watching was uploaded onto Facebook in 2010, with no credit to Eclectic Asylum art, uploaded by a page that was not even affiliated with the guy. I'm censoring the name of the page because I don't want to give them additional exposure. Currently, this page is associated with a computer repair service in Malaysia, but I know that Facebook has had a poor lack of transparency when it comes to transferring ownership of pages. But regardless, this page had taken the original video and shamelessly posted it onto their page. Eclectic Asylum Art's video had been stolen. Now, if I were to ask you, why do you think people steal content? Why would they do this?
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and
Steal content.
So I made a hierarchical list of why I think people steal content, ranked in order of material benefit to the stealer. The first reason is pride and social gratification. I feel like an under-discussed motive as to why people steal is actually related to why people share content on the internet in the first place. See, people share said works, like media or content, perhaps because they see something of themselves in the work, but stated or conveyed in a way that is more insightful, more clever, or more artistic than they could ever do so themselves. They see it as an extension of themselves, but better. And that's why when you share that well-written news article on your Facebook wall back in 2014, I know what you did. Every like that you received for sharing someone else's work with little to no commentary, watching that number of likes go up and up, woo, that gave you that dopamine hit, didn't it? I even kind of see this nowadays with people being really proud of AI art that they generated. Not because of the techniques or the artistry, which they weren't responsible for, but because they feel that sense of ownership, because they thought of the 30-word prompt and typed it into an image generator. It's you, but better. Now, I don't have any proof of this at all, but I suspect this was why, in 2010, a user that went by Proto of Snagem took a funny edit of an old 80s cartoon from a video sharing website Vimeo and uploaded it onto YouTube. You may have heard of this.
And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it on.
Yeah, Hey Yeah Yeah was a huge viral smash and actually super iconic. To date, 219 million people have seen this, which is more than the population of Brazil. Now, Proto of Snagem didn't claim credit for the video, and from what I could tell, their channel isn't even monetized. In fact, according to one of the original creators of the video, Jay Allen, it couldn't be monetized.
But in this case in particular, nobody's making any money off of that video content because DreamWorks Entertainment owns the rights to He-Man. So those internet dollars are funneling back to them in some way, shape, or form. So they're making some good money off of Proto Snagem.
So yeah, aside from the He-Man art and characters and property, the remix of the video was all made by the comedy duo Slack Circus and was originally posted onto the Something Awful forums back in 2004. And was even posted onto their YouTube channel with a watermark. And Proto of Snagem managed to wrangle the one copy on the internet that didn't have a watermark. And obviously, that was the one that went viral because the world is fundamentally unfair. Now, you may look at all this and ask, well, it's just a dumb meme. Why is it so important to get views and credit? Memes are for the people, after all. Well, to that I say, first of all, Fabulous Secret Powers, the correct title of this video, is not just a dumb meme, it is a cultural reset, and how dare you even suggest that to my face? And secondly, this isn't some disposable hashtag relatable garbage we'd see on like funny junk. Look at the effort on display here, the backing track, the singing, all that additional editing. This was always meant to be shared with credit, as evidenced by the inclusion of the watermark on their videos. Let's go back to the idea of sharing something because it resonates with you and you see it as a part of yourself. Back in 2012, I think it was that compulsion that led to the explosion in popularity of meme repository websites, where users could just post and look at dumb hashtag relatable memes and or just about anything that you could find funny or entertaining. And I think the most prominent among these during that time period was 9 Nine. 9gag. I have a confession to make. Until 2014, I used to be a huge 9gag fan. I pray 10 Hail Marys every night to repent for that sin. Anyway, if you don't know what 9gag is, lucky. 9gag is a meme dumpster where hopes, dreams, and originality go to unalive themselves. 9gag was a lot more mainstream than a lot of its competitors at the time, like Reddit, because the user interface was a lot easier and simpler to navigate. No forums, no threads, hardly anything to click even, just endless scroll. Just memes. None of it at the time was monetized for the users posting the memes, and unlike, say, Instagram, there was no real meaningful social capital to be gained by posting on there. It was fairly anonymous. But just because the site was so popular, posting a meme or a piece of content that you made or that you stole, and seeing that piece of content liked and commented on, and seeing all those numbers go up, ooh, that could be so rewarding. Unfortunately, 9gag had basically zero protections to prevent copyright infringement or users posting unauthorized content of artists. It was against their rules, but there was really no way to enforce it. So if you created any kind of art or content in the early 2010s that went even semi-viral, chances are it was featured in 9gag, and chances are you probably hated it as an artist. And you probably hated that 9gag slapped their stupid watermark at the end of all their posts. Oh god, this is literally the "this is mine now" meme. For instance, let's take Matthew Inman, creator of The Oatmeal and Exploding Kittens, and probably one of the most influential web artists of the 2010s, and who had already won a lawsuit against a similar meme website, Funny Junk, for the unauthorized use of his content. Inman similarly took issue with 9gag basically stealing his content and never linking back to his page. Based on this article from the Daily Dot, Inman would go on to say this on Facebook. I make comics for a living, and when you rehost my material in its entirety and cover it with ads on this rotten, spammy travesty you call a website, you are effectively ripping me off. You drop this, king. But to me, the most thorough and honestly heartbreaking documentation of this 9gag content theft phenomenon in real time is taken from this Tumblr post from the blog Mixtape Comics, link in the description. In 2013, Rachel Dukes posted a very cute and very relatable and very well-made comic about what it's like to own a cat. At the very bottom of her comic, she included her name and a link to her website. Important to note that she posts all her work for free, and she just wants people to read and enjoy her work. She originally posted this onto Tumblr, and it was shared on Reddit, while also directly linking to her webpage. This is the ethical way to share content that you like. But somehow, this same comic got on the meme Shadow Realm graveyard that is 9gag, and had the credit cropped out from the bottom and shamelessly reposted without any link or credit or attribution to her or her website. According to Rachel, both the credited and uncredited version of her comic spread like wildfire across the internet. Across several websites and Facebook pages, she tallied the views and engagement that each repost of her comic got. Ultimately, she found that 88% of total engagement and views was from the edited, cropped comic that did not mention or credit her. She also points out that 9gag was among the 300th most popular websites in the world, generating over $13,000 a day in ad revenue at the time she made that post. She wrote these poignant words on her blog post, and I am truncating a little bit here, so please go and read the original blog post. This isn't just happening to me, it's actively happening to the greater art community as a whole. Our work is being stolen and profited off of right this second. The very least I can do as a creator is stand up in this small moment and say, this is mine, I made this. We need to start crediting our content and sources and reporting those who don't. Sites like 9gag need to be held accountable for their theft of work. Again, if you think that, oh, it's probably just some comic that was like written and drawn in a few hours, like, what's the big deal? Think about the time and months, even years of effort it would take to learn digital art. And sharing that labor of love with no anticipation of money, but with the unrealistic expectation of being seen by others for your work and for your art that you spent hours working on. And the worst part is that this isn't even the worst part yet. So I think the second reason why people steal content is for exposure and branding. In 2014, on the second episode of the podcast Hello Internet, CGP Grey of the YouTube channel CGP Grey and Brady Heron of the YouTube channels Numberphile, Periodic Videos, and a whole bunch of others. These channels are huge deals if you are a giant nerd like I am. Both of these guys lamented how some videos from their channels would get reposted onto tabloid news websites, but instead of those websites embedding the YouTube video so that a website's visitors' view would count toward YouTube's, the site would upload the video onto their own on-site native digital video player, taking views away from channels like CGP Grays and Periodic Videos, etc. All this without permission from the original video owners. For context, both creators run channels that are educational, mostly faceless, and incredibly high effort. So Gray and Brady were looking for a new term for taking someone else's videos and uploading it as if it were your own. And on February 27, 2014, on episode 5 of Hello Internet, they would settle on the word...
I came across this word freebooting, which is to do with piracy and looting and taking things. So I'm going to put freebooting out there.
Freebooting would very quickly enter the vernacular because of one terrible social media website. Yes, before Facebook would become known as the tool that aided us into our uncontrollable slide into global fascism, it was once known as a tool that helped us steal from video creators. Alright, so Facebook had an on-site native digital video player. Back in 2015, you could not actually monetize video content on Facebook, but people and brands would quickly realize that if you posted content onto Facebook that people liked and shared a lot, even if that content wasn't yours, that would algorithmically push you up to people's feeds and get them to like and follow your page. You see where I'm going with this? Freebooting on Facebook at this time was a plague that was incredibly detrimental to a lot of YouTube content creators. Mainly because the Facebook videos of their content ripped off and uploaded onto other Facebook pages could rack up more views than the original YouTube upload. One of the first big creators to speak about their work being freebooted was a channel called Smarter Every Day, who do educational and incredibly high-effort content.
Smarter Every Day has also been a victim to this. In September, I uploaded the tattoo in slow motion video, and it was my largest success to date. The largest privately owned publishing company in Europe, called Bauer Media Group, downloaded the video, cut out all the educational content, cut out my sponsor, and cut out all links back to Smarter Every Day, and then re-uploaded it to their verified Facebook page.
Another creator to speak out was Kurzgesagt in a Nutshell, a channel that specialized in educational, faceless, and incredibly high-effort content.
For example, amassed 3.2 million views and 140,000 shares in 2 days, while our own post just reached 100,000 people and got shared 1,000 times.
Also, CS Ghost Animations, a creator who specialized in faceless and incredibly high-effort content.
This video took me over a year to make. On July 17, 2020, I posted it, and at the time this video was posted, it has made 35,000 views and $28. On July 18th, a Facebook page under the username fans.of.csgo downloaded the video and reposted it without my knowledge or consent. The video was unedited. The description said, quote, "creds to CS Ghost Animation," unquote.
There were so many others. In fact, according to a Medium article by Hank Green, link in description, of the 1,000 most popular Facebook videos in Q1 2015, 725 were freebooted from YouTube, which were responsible for around 17 billion views. Who got to even benefit from this? Well, if you were a brand or media outlet or public figure on Facebook in 2015 and had no moral qualms about ripping off others, Congratulations! You found yourself a social media cheat code. You must feel so great about yourself. Like, if you were on Facebook during a certain time period, you almost certainly came across a viral video by Unilad or Lad Bible, media outlets that gained a lot of traction and a lot of likes and clicks on their web pages from likely, allegedly, ripping off viral videos without asking for permission or giving credit. In fact, one of Lad Bible's victims include Mark Rober, a YouTube creator who specializes in educational, incredibly high-effort content. Okay, what is up with ripping off educational content? Like, it's bad enough that Facebook enables this behavior, but a lot of these creators just wanted to enlighten others and make the world a smarter place, and freebooters take away their ability to do that. Anyway, Mark Rober made a video that was freebooted by Lad Bible, and at one point he couldn't even have Facebook take the video down. And this affects smaller creators as well. Grasulo, who has 59,000 subscribers by the way, had his walkthrough of GoldenEye 64 freebooted by Unilad to the tune of 12 million views on Facebook. Actually, Facebook was the real beneficiary of all this. That's why the process to have a video taken down for copyright infringement on Facebook from an independent creator is way more tedious and laborious than it is on YouTube. It is in Facebook's best interest to keep freebooted videos up for as long as possible and rack up as many views as they could so that they could run advertisements alongside it. And best of all, Facebook could keep all the money from the ads. Yay! Speaking of money, okay, now it's time to get to the most obvious reason why people would steal content, for their direct monetary benefit. And for this, we need to talk about reaction content. Let's discuss Jinx. No, not that Jinx. Not that one either. There we go. Jinx started out his YouTube career in 2013, doing stuff like vlogs and skits and commentary, until he started doing reaction content in 2015. And by reaction, I of course mean he would have someone else's videos play in the corner of the screen, while he just sat there, watching. Oh, and occasionally adding a little bit of transformative value with his reactions by cracking a smile, or laughing, or even gesturing. Wow, such transformative! Definitely took the video and made it your own, put your own little unique spin on it, and certainly not siphoning off views that could have gone to the original video creator. Great job! Jinx would see immense success with this format, even getting up to 1 million subscribers. But he also got a ton of backlash and criticism from all the cool, edgy internet big boys at the time, like Grade A Under A, I Hate Everything, iDubbbz, and Jax Films. Jax Films, of course, being the greatest YouTuber of all time, do not at me. Jinx claims that his content was free promotion for the creators that he was reacting to. And I wanted to take a look for myself with fresh eyes. Was this backlash deserved? His channel's videos have since been privated, but there are still archives that are up. And to test, I wanted to take a look at his reaction to the Asdef movies by Tom Ska.
What are you, a man or a mouse?
For those who don't know, the Asdef movie series was a series of videos started in 2008. I describe the Asdef movies as like the TV show Robot Chicken, with short, punchy sketches relying on non-sequitur humor and aimed for a younger YouTube audience. I actually think they're super funny and great and super influential to internet culture at the time. It embodies that original do-it-yourself scrappy spirit that YouTube had championed for so long. And there's clearly a lot of effort and creativity on display with the writing, the animation, the voice acting, and all that. So let's see how Jinx reacts. I wanted to be nice. I remember when all the cool kids were criticizing him, and I feel now that maybe some of those approaches to, what is essentially YouTube drama did not age super well. But not Jax Films though. Jax Films is the perfect boy. And if you say anything bad about him, I am going to... And also, I have seen a few defenses of Jinx in hindsight. So I wanted to give him a chance. If he watched the Asdef movies and then mentioned or shouted out the original creator of the series, Tom Ska, in any way, it's just 2 syllables, bro. Tom Ska. Tom Ska. Tom Ska. Then I would reduce his charges in my book, from shameless freebooter to only being slightly ignorant of best practice and could have improved over time with guidance. So did he do that? I spent 19 minutes watching Jinx, watching the Asdev movies 1 to 8, and not once did he mention Tom Ska. You know, to Jinx's credit, he did link the original Asdef movies in the description, but if you were a kid watching this, why would you even re-watch the content on Tom Ska's channel? It doesn't help promote Tom Ska because all the value you could get from his video, you already got from Jinx's lazy reaction. So I do think at the end of the day, it is lazy and content theft, basically. Speaking of lazy content thieves, we need to talk about this guy. Note that there are plenty of other streamers I could mention for this portion, but I'll just focus on this one guy. XQC is a world-class Overwatch player whose presence as a streamer is defined by his, I don't know, loudness, incomprehensibleness.
What? Why? Why can't I tell the fucking car? Why can't I tell the car?
And to occupy his viewers, he will often put on a well-made, long-form web documentary by the likes of creators like Lemino and Neo Explains. And, listen, I know that live streaming is super difficult. Being able to engage an audience continuously, always being under the pressure that your viewers might click away if it's boring, that's hard to deal with. So you always need to be putting your best foot forward, expending a lot of effort and energy to entertain. Or you could just do what all the big streamers do and just let somebody else's videos babysit the chat, you hobgoblins! Like Jinx, XQC does not exactly provide meaningful or transformative commentary as the videos are playing.
If you did, we'd all be dead, I think. Because if you found everything, you had every question, every answers, right? Then you would know the point of life, you would know the beginning and the end.
With majority of the duration spent sitting silently, watching the videos along with the chat, or even leaving the stream to make a sandwich or use the bathroom or whatever. But to me, the scummiest act that these streamers do is to upload their reaction to YouTube with a slightly modified thumbnail, putting their face on top of the existing video's thumbnail, which then stands in direct competition to the original uploader for their views. If you wanted to watch the vid but you liked XQC, you would likely watch XQC's reaction, and then no longer want to watch the original. And you can see with the time durations of these videos just how little XQC or whoever will stop and pause the video to add any kind of meaningful commentary or insight. So about lack of insight, let's now discuss Sssniperwolf. She started her channel with a variety of content from gaming to skits, but saw the most success reacting to TikToks. Reacting. This was kind of perfect content for the great unknowable YouTube algorithm. These videos were extremely low effort, and she could shoot multiple videos a day, maintaining a really consistent upload schedule of nearly daily. And she got really big doing these reactions, with over 30 million subscribers, most of whom were just like little baby kids who wanted to watch the funny TikToks from that lady's channel. She's at least a little bit different from like Jinx or XQC in that I feel like there was a vague awareness of transformative content, but her commentary was just like nothing.
You're peeling a watermelon. And that's not how you cut a melon. Oh, that thing is so gorgeous.
Like if this was the low bar of not adding anything, Sniper would be like a little bit like here, this barely crosses the line. This was made especially heinous by the fact that Sniper would never credit creators in the description at the time, or shout them out at all, aside from a tiny occasional TikTok watermark. And she'd especially not ask permission from the TikTok uploaders to be reacted to on her giant channel. I think a part of it just might be that TikTok content is seen as lower or lesser than YouTubers. But people still deserve credit at least for their original work. The one video that legitimately made me angry, like I had to stop watching the video at some point because I could feel my blood boil, was this video, Creative People on Another Level. Like, she should have given credit in all her videos, but this one... In this video, extremely talented artists show off their extremely unique and mind-blowing art that must have taken years of practice and craftsmanship to perfect, while Sniper just stays off to the side and just spews her gut reaction to everything that's happening on screen.
You're telling me those aren't actual spikes? I can't tell. They sure do look spiky. Oh, and now a banana. It's even got the little doll sticker.
This is such a slap in the face to artists and creatives, and I can't help but think of creators like Eclectic Asylum Art or Rachel Dukes, and how this kind of lazy reaction content makes a mockery of creative work, reducing a labor of love into a little 20-second segment for your glorified slideshow while you reap all the monetary and social benefits. Anyway, when greatest YouTuber of all time Jax Films caught on to Sniper's lazy practices of not crediting creators, he made a big spectacle of it, uncovering even scummier practices that she was doing, such as stealing jokes but editing the video to make it sound like she had come up with a joke herself, repeating clips in her videos to pad out the runtime, and even showing TikToks without commentary or face cam, and that's just straight up freebooting and copyright infringement. Faced with mounting criticism from Jax Films, Sniperwolf responded with one of the most heinous and grim and morally reprehensible actions that any creator could do to another. And I don't even want to repeat it here because that detail is the one thing that people really fixate on when they talk about Sniperwolf. Anyway, if YouTube were fair, I believe, and this is my opinion, that Sniperwolf should have been deplatformed for that action. But the worst punishment she got was temporary demonetization, whatever that meant. But to really illustrate why I think this happened, let me just crunch some numbers. And please note that this is all just a rough estimation. I could be misunderstanding the statistics that I googled, so I could be way off. But I still think the final point still stands. According to this source, which approximates that 5 billion videos are watched in a day, and Sniperwolf's Social Blade page, which shows she gained 109 million views in the last 28 days, that means her channel was possibly responsible for 0.07% of total YouTube views across the entire platform, which may not seem like a lot, but with YouTube bringing in $29.24 billion in ad revenue, and again, I might be fundamentally misunderstanding the numbers, and there's a bunch of assumptions that I'm definitely not factoring in, but given the limited data that I have, I would be willing to wager that Sniperwolf's channel alone potentially made YouTube $22.9 million in ad revenue. She makes YouTube big bucks. I hope that your takeaway from this video is not that bad people did bad things and therefore should be punished. Instead, I think the message is more social media platforms and corporations enabled people to do bad things and exploit others' content and creativity for profit. 9gag got so much more clicks from the backs of other artists' work. Facebook got so much money from advertisements run alongside stolen videos. And YouTube is more than happy to host cross-platform content on its website with barely anything commentary because it gets them views. Earlier, I made the insanely bold claim that you like the creators that you like because of freebooting. But does that still hold up? To prove my point, I just wanted to revisit the 2008 awards, that little award thing that made me so nostalgic. You know, if you just click around, oh, I Got a Crush on Obama by Barely Political. I know them. They launched a pop song parody series called The Key of Awesome that I was so obsessed with that I made a way too long video essay about that, you know, apparently some of you watched. So thank you so much. You know, even having made that video and delving into the different reasons why parody videos didn't do so well anymore, I still feel like their downfall felt kind of out of left field. I mean, take their parody of Work by Rihanna featuring Drake. That was a huge hit song in 2016. It only got 9 million or so views, which is pretty low for the key of awesome. And I wonder why. The original song was super popular, the parody was well made, well acted, well sung, and I'm not... Oh.
Somebody on Facebook freebooted the video and then took off the outro. And that's why those blogs that picked this up were like, someone made an awesome Rihanna parody.
Don't freeboot, kids. People work hard on things.
It's so whack.
This made me realize that freebooting and content theft led to a shift in content on YouTube, away from parodies that are quite subtle or fictional depictions of things, like fictional short films or movies. Nowadays, there's an audience expectation that YouTube channels need to be imbued with some sort of personality, that there needs to be some sort of person at the center of everything that you can connect to, that you can relate with. And the presence of said person makes that content less likely to be freebooted. Or at least if it was freebooted or stolen, people will want to go and seek out that YouTube channel because they liked the personality of the individual at the center of it all. Well, let's check out the YouTube Awards more. Oh, wow, let me borrow that top by Liam Kyle Sullivan. That's the shoes guy. You know, I always love this video, maybe even a little bit more than shoes. Particularly for the skit at the beginning of the video. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. I'm not Sssniperwolf.
If you just lose a little weight.
Fat chance. I get it, because she's fat.
Fat chance, Fatty McFatty.
Right?
I'm gonna butt slap the dumb out of you.
He's always eating.
I don't know where you get that.
I don't know where she gets that. Bitch.
Kelly, I wouldn't worry too much about your weight.
Nearly every character in this skit, all 5 of them, are played by the same person. But that's not the part that's remarkable to me. It's that it's all played in such an understated, almost subtle way. Well, maybe subtle is not the right word, but immersive. In the moment that you're watching this, you are part of the scene. You are watching a film. Also, at the time, it was not only Liam Kyle Sullivan who was portraying multiple characters in a video in a comedic, yet muted way. There was also of the Filipino YouTuber Happy Slip, and this video in particular got nominated for a YouTube award the year before.
Wait, maybe you gained weight then. You look bloated. Your face looks bloated. Yeah, Kirsten loves pizza.
This non-exaggerated, understated way of acting is such a weird watch in 2024 because from the mid-2010s onward, this is the direction that internet comedy would move toward.
She's gone!
Yeah, it was a little over the top. But I almost feel like that's by design. If your acting is this huge, this over the top, this larger than life, then it creates a distance between the creator as a performer and the creator as a person. It's like, whoa, I'm acting right now, woo! But it's still me. You like me, right? I'm exaggerating now, woo! Visit my channel. Like and subscribe. And I almost feel like that's maybe an implicit way to combat freebooters and content thieves, and here's why. For one, watching this content on YouTube from a creator that you already like, that could be enjoyable. But if someone were to come across this video just randomly scrolling through their Facebook feed, you might just think, well, this is obnoxious and annoying, and then click off. And also, showing this much of your big and loud personality will compel people to search for you, and maybe even like and subscribe. Like if you were to come across the Mona Lisa done in MS Paint on your Facebook wall, you'd be like, oh, that's nice, and then go about your day. But seeing this video could make you go, wow, who's that blonde guy? He is funny and I am 12. I guess he's from like Vine or something, IDK. Speaking of Vine, just to drive my point home, my familiarity with that entire platform came from illegally uploaded Vine compilations on YouTube, which is also its own form of freebooting and content thievery, because content theft built the internet. Roll credits, ding! And it was through these Vine compilations that I viewed truly iconic videos like Look at All These Chickens, Road Work Ahead, Haha I Do That. However, despite seeing these videos on multiple funny Vine compilations, I did not know who the creators of these Vines were until many years later. But do you know who I didn't see in these random Vine compilations? Logan Paul, Lil A. Pons, Brent Rivera. You know, people whose gigantic, garish performances and personalities were the main focus of their Vines. And these people were like really successful, but their videos did not work well in freebooted, illegally uploaded compilations. Okay, so for this next bit, I'm actually going to be showcasing large YouTubers who I actually quite admire. People who I think are very funny and talented and make good original content. But people for whom I think freebooting may have indirectly been a factor in the way they perform. So comedy videos where one person portrays multiple characters in the vein of Happy Slip, that's still going strong online. It's everywhere on YouTube and especially on TikTok, which makes sense, especially if you're a one-person or two-person show. It's also a good way to flex your comedy skills. But with all these creators doing that kind of content, I always find that there's almost like a wink, nudge to the audience, like, hey, look at me, I'm playing all the parts. I don't know, maybe it's just projection on my part, but I always felt that vibe. Whether it's by exaggerated, highly stylized portrayals, a visual gimmick, or just rapid-fire editing. In fact, some of these big creators, as talented as they are in acting, may not even put that much effort into visually distinguishing themselves for their skits. And in all of these examples, I almost see it as a way to put your distinct personality, your stamp, to make it more difficult for freebooters to just yoink your videos and put it onto separate platforms. Okay, now I'm gonna do what I do best and make this video about me! Yay! So I run a commentary channel wherein I was inspired by other commentary channels that I watched growing up. And this genre, similar to say vlogging or gaming, it's actually one of the less freebootable genres because the whole focus of the video is your ideas and your views of the world. Which is why I think commentary also exploded in popularity in the mid-2010s. Also, my decision to include my face and crack jokes, I mean, I do love being on camera, I like making jokes, so that makes sense. But I'm also opening myself up to more criticism about my appearance or the way that I act on camera. Not to mention that it takes effort to shoot and film videos. So now I think, is this just my way of putting my stamp on these videos that I work so hard on? I mean, I know I'm just a tiny baby channel and my videos are nowhere near on the level of like a Lamino or Neo Explains, but is this just my way of preventing my videos from getting shamelessly taken by XQC if I do get featured? I mean, I know a lot of people might be annoyed by how annoying I am, but I might get a few subscribers if I do get featured. Oh, hey! Sorry about calling you a hobgoblin earlier. I didn't mean it. Oh, are you okay? Was it something I said? Does my whole channel exist because of freebooting? Do I exist because of freebooting? I need to end this video before I get into an existential crisis. I hope I was able to adequately convey just how prevalent freebooting and content theft is in all facets of internet culture. And I think I've made my stance clear, as well as its negative consequences. Content theft fosters an environment where folks with a message wouldn't want to create or educate. It deprives creators of views and engagement and money that rightly belongs to them. And it also limits the kinds of niches and online videos that get made or get popular. And for me, the one insidious consequence of this sort of lazy content thievery is the message that young, impressionable folks would take from all this. Do you think that in a landscape rife with freebooters and reaction content, kids will want to grow up to be the next eclectic Asylum Art, or Rachel Dukes,
or Brady Heron?
Maybe, but maybe not. Just based on popularity, it's more likely that these people would be inspired by the likes of XQC or Sniperwolf. And the corporations like YouTube will cheer them on because it brings them money. Well, I want YouTube to cheer me on and give me money. Bro is doing a video essay? What? I don't know what I was going for with this. This is just a wig that I saw lying around the house. But really, thank you so much for watching. I've been on YouTube, this thing, for like 2 months now, and it's been more fun than you could possibly imagine. But I'm still at the point where I'm not sure if like my next video will get like 10 views or 1,000 views or 10,000 views. But regardless, I'm just really happy to have any kind of audience and platform to convey my weird thoughts about that intersection between online and pop culture. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, I hope you get to stick around. And I really appreciate that you're still here at the very end. And just thank you so much. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.